So here we are, day 42 of the Mike Duffy trial, day 5 of Nigel Wright's cross-examination by Donald Bayne, Duffy's lawyer, and mercifully it is at an end. And all I can say is that for one brilliant moment today, just before the lunch break, the strangest thing happened. Bayne was questioning Wright yet again about an email he'd sent. This is after Bob Fife of CTV News broke the story that somehow Nigel Wright, the Prime Minister's then Chief of Staff, had been involved in helping Mike Duffy pay back the expenses. In fact, as we now all know, Wright paid $90,000 of his own funds to pay Duffy's expenses back, but it wasn't quite that clear early on. In any case, the communications people in the Prime Minister's office had sent Wright an email saying, you know, what do we need to know to answer the questions that are going to be coming in because of this? And Wright explained that this note that he sent out where he said, the Prime Minister was aware in a very broad way that I was personally involved in helping or in assisting Mike Duffy. So Wright's explaining what he says it means, which is that it was unusual for him at his level to be engaged in this kind of thing personally, to be talking to a senator with problems. And he had been engaged, that's all he meant, he said. And Bayne was saying nonsense, and all of a sudden, prosecutor Mark Holmes, who was not handling the questioning of Wright, there are two prosecutors on the case. Anyway, prosecutor Holmes suddenly stood up, and I couldn't believe it. Spades were being called spades. Truth was being spoken for just a brief, fleeting moment. And the essence of what Mr. Holmes said was, you know, Mr. Bayne may have a political agenda at work here, but there's no need for the court to play along with it. And he said, you know, Bayne wasn't asking questions as much as he was making argument, he said. By the time we're making arguments to you, Your Honor, it's going to be December, and really no one's going to care much about the result because the election will be over. This is all about the election. Shortly afterwards, things resumed to normal, and nobody was speaking plainly anymore. But mercifully, that's about when it ended. It was a wonderful moment.